Okay, good evening, everybody. Let's call the meeting order for June 14th, 2021. I'll start with the pledge.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty
and justice for all.
Okay, we're gonna go to the Town Administrator's Weekly Update.
First thing I wanted to let you know that I did inadvertently leave something off the agenda. We have an Article 43 application that we need to add. So if you would do that, that would be great.
New
do you
business
want it?
under,
G?
that would do G, yeah.
All right. And Ed, I just sent you the information, if you can take a look at that. All right, first thing I was hoping that we could talk about was demo permits. Demo permits are, we relaxed them while we were looking for code staff downstairs, so just wanted to have a conversation about whether or not the board wanted to start doing them again. I guess a little bit of a reminder of why we started it originally. It first came to us as a recommendation from the superintendent at the transfer station. He wanted to be sure that the demo projects were coming from the town of Acton. So by them coming in and doing a permit, they at least had to write down the property address and, you know, affirm that they were doing it here. In addition, it gave the code office an idea of whether or not a permit should be pulled. You know, if you're taking a deck off or if you're redoing your kitchen, and that building permit may or may not trigger the assessment of a property. So that's kind of how it started many years ago. So just kind of looking for input on whether or not you feel like it's something we should start doing again, or if you're happy the way it is.
I think,
Have they had any issues within the last?
No, I know, and I mean, and Bob hasn't really, you know, Bob hasn't really.
I think right now it seems to be working. I don't know, I was never really a big fan of it in the first place because, you know, you have an individual who's just, you know, tearing down an old shed out back, you know, and just getting rid of it, it makes it kind of a pain. But, I mean, obviously if you're redoing your house, and that's another whole story, because we did have an issue with somebody took down a whole barn, I guess, and that was kind of but they were just taking it down.
Right.
So, I mean, at that point, you don't even need a permit to take your building down, so.
Well, they need a demo permit.
Right, I mean,
Outside of this, like a demolition permit, according to codes, because we have a building on 109 that's coming down completely. And they did indicate that,
But that's probably
They
not
needed-
going to the transfer station though, is it?
no, and that's not that, but I'm
No,
just
so that's a
saying,
demo.
a demo
for the
permit
building
through code
itself.
enforcement,
Yeah, for-
right.
Yeah,
So isn't that what David's saying, that the barn,
I'm not
would the barn
sure,
need a demo through the code
building
office?
has to get a permit, but-
how long do we have the demo permits in place? I
It
mean,
was-
I don't
they were
think
in
it's a
place
bad
probably
idea.
6 years probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5 or 6
I mean,
years.
I think it's a good way to keep the people in town, not outside people coming, you know, trying to bring
Well,
stuff
and
in.
as much as, I mean, I kind of, appreciate the fact that it did that, but it's not like when codes issues a permit, they're going to confirm that the shingles are coming from such and such address in Acton. I mean, we're, you know, what I mean, we're not really, I mean, how do we follow up unless we go visit? So,
I just think it's more of a paper trail that we don't need to deal with, unless it starts becoming an issue. I mean, I think codes right now is, you know, he's just getting his feet wet until it becomes an issue.
Maybe we could revisit it again or
revisit in a
something.
few months.
Yeah.
I'll see how it goes. Okay. So 3 months, 6 months, what's your pleasure?
6, you know, that way.
All right, so we'll revisit it in 6 months. Last week on a public comment, there was, someone pointed out the town line information on the maps. There was 2 different town lines. We did speak to the mappers, and they're in the process of fixing it. The black dotted lines are the actual town lines. There is a layer that comes from another company that has the town of Acton, town of Shapley grayed out that is incorrect information. The assessors have confirmed it. That's why they have the black line going around. So they're in the process of fixing it. It may take a little time, but for their purpose, it's definitely the black line. So everything as far as the subdivisions should be fine. Regarding the code enforcement officer, he has completed 2 more of his certifications. He passed the residential building code certification and just shortly passed his subsurface wastewater disposal. So he is, you guys had already appointed him as a local plumbing inspector, Mr. Demers being the deputy. Based on the 2 plumbing that we announced 2 weeks ago in this subsurface, he's now able to sign off on those. So, I mean, that's a big step in just a matter of a few weeks.
Huge, yeah. It's great. It's
And already did his legal, I told you before, and his residential. So he's moving up 5 weeks. I think he's got 4 under his belt already, and that's on top of dealing with the traffic coming in, so. And when I say the last meeting, for clarity, I'm not talking about the special meeting we had last week, I'm talking about the last one, but we talked about the rec field and the gates. I did send an email immediately following that, letting the rec know that you wanted it locked, and that was the idea. It is not locked. The chair has come into me, and she's really asking that the board reconsider that, and that's why that they didn't put locks on it. She says that it puts too many cars on the street, that there are private events, you know, there's some homeschool groups that are using it. She just feels like it puts a lot of traffic on 109. She's hoping that you might reconsider with the signs and the cameras that are going up to see if that does anything. There's gonna be a lot of work involved with, you know, the lawn care person, everybody on the rec, the porta potty people, and every coach getting keys. You know, before you know it, you're gonna have 20 keys out anyways.
That's why we were gonna do a combination lock.
Well, and I said that, I did
Yeah.
say
It's not
that.
locked right now.
It is not, no, they didn't lock
He
it.
has to have it locked.
I understand that. And I can show you the emails that I made that request.
Yeah.
Now, do we wanna try it closed and not locked? And see how it goes?
Just keeping the gate closed is what you're saying? And
Yeah, close the gate, put a,
and did I just hear they're going to
Sampling
put
on it
signs
and-
up and they're
Well,
going
the
to put a
town
camera?
is ordering signs saying that video recording is in progress
Okay.
because we're required to do that if we put cameras up.
I mean, if someone's gonna go in there and horse around, they're probably not gonna stop at the gate and unlock it. It's open, they're gonna drive in, they're gonna do their thing. You know, unlatch it, I should say. So if the gate's shut,
They think it's locked.
hopefully that would still deter.
And if we have cameras and signs,
And if it doesn't, then we go back and say, lock it.
it just,
Like I say,
it's too bad
I'm
that we
still
said
adamant
lock
that we
it.
do a combination lock. 'Cause
Well, one of
that's-
the things with the combination, because this came up in the office the other day, is that they're saying that combination locks aren't, once it gets, they're not weathered, they can't be weathered. You know what I mean? Once they get rained on a couple of times, that they're gonna rust out.
No, we got
You
all
could-
kinds
No,
of.
you get the mechanical, like any lock, not
bottom
digital,
there,
you know.
Well, then, I mean, let's, you know, I mean, that was your decision, I mean,
Yeah.
The problem we're gonna have is if we don't lock it, the gate's gonna get left open if we don't lock it.
Make
So
it left
then
open
it's-
anyway, but
So we'd be spinning our feet, you know,
Yeah.
we're not really accomplishing anything by not locking it. But if we don't lock it and then they go in and rip it up again, then what do we do at that point?
Exactly.
So it's like a catch-22 here. So we don't want people parking out on the road.
no.
No.
I understand that people want to go in and use the basketball court and stuff like that, but at the same time, we've got town property and it's getting vandalized by vehicles. I mean, really, I don't see any other choice than
so
to
we'll
lock it.
put the combination lock on, put the
Yeah.
signs up, put the cameras up, I mean,
Yeah.
they're, you know, they're still cameras, so they're not gonna be, obviously, there's no internet down there, no power down there,
Yeah.
so,
But
We should probably change that lock yearly too.
well, I was
just from the
thinking
time-
every few months. I mean, it's
Well,
gonna
I'm just
depend
saying
between, you know,
because you've
between
got
sports.
sports, yeah.
You're gonna have 10 coaches, you know, I mean, it's not gonna
Right.
take long for the password, for the
No.
code to pass.
Right.
it's gonna deter. I mean, I do understand if we don't lock it, but, you know, if anybody, you know, if they figure out it's not locked, then it's game on.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
if people
If
want
they
to
wanna
use
go
it
down
and they
and pack
park on
and-
the side of the
Yeah,
road,
But it-
that's,
so,
I just feel it'll end up being left
Yeah.
open because there's no reason if
lock
unless
it,
you lock
yeah.
it. So,
Yeah.
I just feel that we have to protect the town's interest by doing it, and obviously, there's not usually that many cars sitting out next to the road, there's quite an area there,
Right.
unless there's an event.
But all they gotta do is call the town hall and get the combination. You know,
Yeah,
what are
I
you
would think
doing?
so.
They call, what are you doing? I have a, homeschool group that's gonna meet down there on Thursday.
would think we
You give them a
should-
combination.
Do some sort of, maybe an application, come in and say, hey, you know, I want to be able to use, like we did with the, remember what we did with the workout center there? We had certain individuals that were younger, they wanted to use it, we made them do a thing.
Yeah. I don't know if we need to go that route right now, but
At least
We
we'll
could
keep
put it up
track
on
of
the
who's-
website, though.
who are you giving it to? Well, I mean, simple log
we-
would do that.
Yeah, we
Would
can do
we-
a log.
A log would do
Something
Yeah,
up
that.
on the website that says if you
That
want
would
to
be
use it,
easier on
you
the
know,
office.
call the town
The
hall.
rec did, I mean, they did ask us about like a couple, a homeschooling group of,
Yeah.
you know, 10 kids did ask if they could schedule, an event, you know, one day a week. And the answer, I mean, we don't schedule anything down there. We don't have, the
Right.
you know what I mean? It's, if the rec has priority, and these are the, you know, you can check with the rec chair to see what days practice goes on. But other than that, I mean, we don't have the manpower to schedule, you know, the rec field. And they're all volunteers. They're not looking to,
But, you know, if somebody wants to go use the basketball court or whatever, you know, it'd be, I mean, they can walk around the gate anyways, but if they're gonna get
if
a
it's one or
bunch
two
of people
people,
to
right?
go do it,
Just call ahead.
they call ahead, and like
Yeah.
Ed said, you know, we
Pretty
just have a
simple.
log, we know you got the lock, and then if obviously we have issues, then we
Give someone
change the
back
lock,
Yeah.
and they'll all have to
If
ask.
someone goes in there on a Thursday night, you know, because they want to have a group basketball, you know, thing, give them the code, we know who you gave the code to.
And if they left
Friday
it
morning,
open?
it's all torn up, you go back to that person and say, hey,
No more.
yeah,
All right, so we will create a log and we'll get
Yeah.
that,
something simple.
yes. We'll get the code, the log on there.
Spring Mill Hardware's got those ones where
Yep.
they're made for being outside.
Yeah,
Got one down the same shit.
yeah,
Just passing along the information.
yep.
Speaking of the rec, I met with one of the rec members today through the chair regarding swimming lessons. Carol Ward has been working very hard with the YMCA in regards to swimming lessons, something they had put in their budget and planned on, and it looks like it's going to be a go. Acton residents are going to get a very well discounted swimming lessons rate. It's less than a third of what the Y actually charges, so it's, yeah. I don't want to release the number in case I'm off a little bit. The signups will go directly through the YMCA, and everything will be handled through them. The town will actually cut the check to the Y based on the amount of students. We've cleared it with the insurance because they're signing up at the Y. The Y is handling the liability piece. We're just paying the bill because the rec budgeted X amount for swim lessons, so they're paying a portion of it as well. So looking to have those probably start around the end of August. So more information is coming on that.
Do you know what the age?
No. No, she'll post it. We'll have some information soon.
Okay.
Next is just a reminder that there is a planning board training on July 20th, per your request. Each one of you have been signed up, Zoom class, and all of the planning board members and the CEO have been signed up as well.
Starts at 4, I think, 4 to 7. I just looked at it
Okay.
today. I
You got an
it.
email?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got one too.
yeah,
I wondered.
yeah.
Next, zoning board of appeals update. The zoning board of appeals did meet on Monday to hear a ongoing application that they had in front of them since November regarding Gilia and the Martell subdivision. I think about 5 minutes before the hearing was scheduled, we got a notice of withdrawal from the attorneys. They had settled an agreement. So this is not an extension. This is a complete withdrawal, so that is done. So the ZBA did not have to hear that case. However, they do have another one in front of them that they were presented with Monday night, and they have scheduled a hearing on August 2nd at 5 o'clock to hear that. Certified letters have gone out to all the abutters. We do need to, remind me, Cheryl, we need to put it in the newspaper, but we've notified, I think we've done everything else according to the ordinance, so we're in pretty good shape. I have an individual, not a resident, but a property owner, that's looking to talk to somebody about the history, and not 50 years, more like 500, of Balch Lake. Now, we have a 5-inch folder that we presented to him today that had maps of the original, but he really wants deeper information. Do any of you have a contact that might be able to tell him what that was before it was Balch Lake, or have anywhere I can send him?
I'm sure it was a river at some point.
I would think it must have been, yeah.
So I should give him your number?
What's the
don't-
what's the
I don't know, I'm just
what about
guessing.
the Historical Society? Would they have stuff?
I don't know, but that might be a good place.
I would think that'd be a good place to go. There's gotta be somebody down there that,
Maybe Dick Neal might know.
that was another
Mr.
thought.
Cody's really good with that kind of stuff, too.
All right, so we will call him tomorrow and get him the Historical Society number.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or,
Leslie Hamlin.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another one.
Wesley
Yes,
Ham.
he actually asked for contact for Wesley Ham. We don't
Yep.
generally give phone numbers out unless you have a dog registered because they're not public unless you have a dog.
He's very, he
Yes.
knows
Yeah.
more about acting than most people do.
Okay, that was another one.
Yeah,
We'll try to reach out to him.
yeah.
It is time for the town report.
Already?
When the fiscal year ends on June 30th,
Yep.
we should already be thinking about print.
Okay.
So, the dreaded question of every year, what is the deadline gonna be? Which one of you are gonna write the letter?
We used September last year. I don't remember if it was first or the last.
Yeah, it
Or
definitely has to be.
15th, maybe?
September 1st?
So today is the 14th, I'm thinking August 20th. That's 6
August
weeks.
20th?
It's 6 weeks out. By the time we get it, we put them in one document,
Yeah.
we proof it. Don't forget the audit report. I mean, it's a process to, you know, I mean, if you set August 20th,
Yeah.
God love them, we won't have the reports until the second week of September.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Look at him
The
smiling over
report
that.
is supposed to be for the fiscal year. I mean, one of these years, we're gonna get this in print in August.
Okay.
It shouldn't be stale and.
He's asking for a lot.
Well, just so you know, that the town clerk and treasurer's documents are ready. They're on the server.
Wow. Did you ask who was writing it this year?
Yes.
Usually
that
it's the
way.
chairman.
Go to, oh.
Well, it's
go
the
to-
chairman for the fiscal year.
Oh, well, I did it the year before.
Actually, I wrote it for you guys the last several years.
Cheryl helped me the year before.
I actually wrote one
I've
of
done it a
those.
few
Be
years.
known.
Wait a minute, I've done it a few years.
We will find some highlights and we'll work on it as a
Okay,
group. How's
I'll
that?
do it. All right.
But you need to be thinking about the dedication.
Okay.
I have a couple of ideas, and I'm sure you do as well, so if anybody from the public has an idea, certainly let me know off camera too, so we can consider them as our minds roll. Next was just an FYI, I believe the road commissioner left a letter for me to present to you guys. There's a letter from Ridge Road's private association just giving written confirmation that he is allowing the detour of Asbury Lane traffic to go down, so it's more of an FYI. Will already had everything handled. We did file it away in the proper road file, but wanted to let you know that they did give us something in writing.
Nice.
Did I say that right? Good. All right, and the last thing is just an FYI. I think I mentioned that Kayla and I took what they call the motor vehicles, I don't know if I want to say this in front of David, because we're trying to, so we took our truck level certifications through motor vehicles. Normally, we can only do 32,000 pounds because you get into HVUT, you get into DOT numbers, you get into these boosters, this, just some information you just don't need in your brain, your minds. We finally decided that we would take the truck registration, and we got certified to increase what we're allowed to do here, so they don't have to go to DMV anymore. Yeah, I told Kayla I shouldn't announce it, but
Up to how, up to what?
everything, we can do
Everything.
everything now that Springville can
Nice.
do.
Oh, nice.
Right. Congratulations.
And we're hoping that, you know, to start with some simple boosters and stuff. I mean, there is a lot to it, so, you know, we might still need a little bit of assistance, but we can go right up to,
How many other towns in the area have someone that can do that?
none that I know of.
That's what I
Wow.
thought.
Yeah. But with that being said, as much as motor vehicles is encouraging it, with your permission, we will not allow neighboring towns to come over and utilize the truck registration. They're gonna have to continue to go to DMV.
Yeah, I'd keep it just for
Yeah, I mean,
Acton.
you know, we're gonna, all we can do to figure it out, and, you know, we obviously have a little more patience with our truck guys, and we'll figure it out together, but, yeah, you know, she said, well, you know, you're one of the only ones in York County, you should open it up. No, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, do we get any, what do we get for more money?
$1 more agent fee,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. But they're gonna come here, so they don't have to sit in line at DMV.
Right.
But, yeah, so,
I
we'll
keep
start
it-
our normal sentences. The selectmen said,
There you
no.
go.
Yeah.
And that's all I have, assuming, Ed, you're gonna take care of that other situation at the end?
Sure.
Perfect, thank you.
We do that now?
Whenever you'd like,
Do
you're
that
in
now?
charge.
Yeah? Well, I'm not in charge.
Well, David's in-
Dave's technical.
Well, so I had something I wanted to say, but I think it might be,
Yeah, no, we lost another member of our town this week. Tim Robichaud passed away. Unfortunately, I didn't know the gentleman. I know of him, but I didn't really
oh,
know
I
him.
knew him.
Nice
But, you know, I know I know, you know, Cal Bond, it basically is his stepfather.
Yep.
To Cal Bond, who's one of our firefighters. And I know that Mr. Robichaud's had some illnesses lately and whatnot, and thought they had things under control, but
Just a really
something
good.
happened, and yeah, I don't
Well,
know
he had
what,
brain
but-
cancer.
Yes.
He
but-
he was.
Yeah, but he just kind of suddenly went, and so it was a shock. So,
Yeah, we actually met him, and when I met my husband in 1994, real quickly, we lived on Church Street in Sanford, and Tim lived next door with his mother, so I met him then. And then years went by, I never saw him, and then, but his wife Jana Robichaud, you remember, ran the rec for many years.
yeah,
So, you know, they've had a lot of ties to the town. He
Yeah.
was just in, I didn't say, about 2 weeks ago, and
yeah.
said he was doing well and was in remission, but a terrible loss. Good
Yeah.
guy, just a
Oh,
good
yeah.
down-to-earth guy.
That is, I mean, anything like that. It's a small community. When something happens like this, it's, you know, it's a number of different people. So
There are
just wanted
services.
to make sure we
Yeah.
made mention and condolences to the family from everybody here at the town hall.
Services on Sunday. There's a printed obituary now, if anybody wanted it, but, okay. That's all I have, Sir Chairman.
Okay, warrants and bills,
I signed them.
I've signed.
all signed up.
Yep.
Approval of the agenda?
I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda with the addition of G under new business. We have an Article 43,
Request.
yep, application.
And I'll second that.
All in favor? Okay. Minutes of the last meeting.
So we actually have two sets that we're
Yes,
looking for.
and I'll make a motion to approve June 30th minutes and also July 8th minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Okay. Where are we here? Myself, department head, community chair updates.
Will Langley, District 1. We started up on Acton Ridge this week. We got all of our culverts in the road yesterday and today. We got a 30-inch culvert in yesterday, worked all through the rain yesterday, and kind of poured like cats and dogs up there. And today we got the 18-inch culvert in and the 12-inch culvert. So those are all in. And the detour's all done, so we won't have to shut the road down anymore. So we got 2 driveway culverts we gotta do tomorrow, and my tree guy's still there. They're working their way down. So we'll be there the rest of this week and all of next week. So that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I don't see anybody else. I guess we'll skip down to old business, Canal Road update. So I guess I'm gonna give an update on it. So they've got one of the bridge abutments on the Wakefield side in. They've started construction. I haven't been up there in the last day or so, last couple days, I guess. So that's all I got for an update for right now, but they have started
They
the
have
project.
started, yep. And that's what a couple of people had asked, so.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. We're down to new business, A, transfer station compactor pad.
So, one of the items that Mr. Mann had budgeted for was the dumpster pad, concrete pad, that he needed to be put in there. He did receive 2 bids. The policy does say, you know, over,
5.
well, it says, yeah, I was just kind of thinking that as I said it. So, over 1,000, you know, at least 3 bids. And then it talks about over 5,000 for sealed bids. But it's, I mean, it's certainly your policy and at your discretion. He did receive 2 that are identical. They're pads for 12 by 45 by 6 slab for the compactor. The demo, all the demo is gonna stay there. Prep for the new concrete pad, pouring it, and including the steel plates, drains and tanks to be determined on site. Apparently, they're not gonna know until they dig down.
Not sure until after they pull the pad up what's gonna be underneath it, so that's gonna have to be something I'm gonna have to do after the fact.
So, one of them is dated May of 2011, the other one's dated July of 2021. They're both good reputable.
2011?
21, sorry.
21, okay.
They're both good reputable Acton companies, but before I give you the numbers, I mean, you have a purchasing policy, but you have the right to,
Should we be asking for one more?
Well, he certainly made attempts to
Okay,
find
and that's what I
another,
was gonna say,
yeah, he certainly
but we've
found
only
another
got
one.
two. Okay.
You've got the sealed bid piece
Yeah.
too, but that's your,
Is it, are
policy.
they over,
If it's
are they over the
over-
sealed bid limit?
Yes.
Okay,
Well, then we,
But I mean, neither one of you have seen these, correct?
I have not.
I haven't either.
No, for clarity, Bob did hand me one of those when I came in yesterday to give to you. I did not open it and
Yeah,
did
it
not
was-
look in
It
it.
was sealed in an envelope when I
Yeah.
got it.
I'm fine with the two. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
I
lucky to
mean-
get anybody to bid on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and probably if you went out to bid right now, who knows, even knows if you get these two.
Yeah,
You don't know. So,
then the locals, so that's good.
yeah. I mean, that's,
Do you want to hear that? Well, I
they've got a
just,
so they've got to demo out everything that's there
Mm-hmm.
and then put this in, okay. Yeah,
What's that
Gotta-
say?
Probably ought to read them off, huh? I mean,
Let's-
if we're not going to go out to bid, then we'll, then we just move forward with what we
Well,
got.
I think.
But if it's
the
over
problem-
5,000, don't we have to go out to bid?
Yes, you do.
I think it's our policy.
Right. Well, that's true, it is our policy.
Fortunate part about this is
So I'm
Bob
just,
right now is having some issues with the pad that's there now. We're having an issue with
Okay.
Triano because of the compact
Unevenness
damage.
of the pad.
And if we push this off too far, you know, it's gonna be an issue. So our,
they say there's an exemption to this, and if it's completely avoidable emergency expense.
okay.
oh, it's not an emergency.
And that is our policy, correct?
Yeah, it's not an
okay.
ordinance, it's a policy,
Okay.
so.
As long as it's
And
not
the
an
policy
ordinance.
hasn't been touched, 2018 is the last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, the policy states $1,000 for a what kind of bid?
Well, this, no, for these that are, that's gonna pertain, this is what it says. All purchases of goods or services in excess of $5,000 shall be awarded by sealed bid. No less than 3 competitive bids are required when possible.
Okay.
Bids requests shall be posted at the town hall, on the town website, and at least one newspaper for a minimum of 2 weeks. Bids shall be opened at a regular weekly selectmen's meeting. The selectmen reserve the right to accept or reject any and all bids. In the event that no bids are received, all bids are rejected, the board shall solicit prices from selected individuals or businesses.
Well, from what it says, we didn't advertise it.
I did not advertise it, no.
Okay.
I don't think he
I
advertised it.
don't think, yeah. I
Need to
don't-
advertise
I
it.
think that during the budget process, he
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
asked for prices, looking for,
I mean, you
I was
almost,
never a fan of the way that was set up, because what it does, it puts you in a predicament where, what happens, you can't get 3 bids.
yeah.
well, is it the
And-
3
It
bid
says- it
piece, or
says-
is it the 3 bid piece or the sealed bid piece that, do you agree with the sealed bid piece? Because, I mean, you have the option too of.
It says in
Of
that-
temporarily suspending your your purchasing policy, figure out what you want to change about it, put it before you next week. I mean, it's your
Yeah,
policy.
Yeah, and in this case, neither one of, excuse me, none of us have seen those.
Right.
You could almost treat it as a sealed bid. We haven't seen
It
it.
hasn't been advertised, but it's
Yeah,
I guess, tell me what you want to change about this policy. If there's enough there, then you
It
can
wouldn't be right
resolve.
to change a policy right now to fit the situation.
Well, I mean, you're not changing it today, but you can dissolve a policy. I mean, you have, there's,
Right.
you dissolve,
There may be some changes we need to think
I
about.
mean, because the problem is.
or we can advertise it for a week and see what happens.
The policy doesn't work. It doesn't work, because you're making one department do one thing, and other departments are doing it in different ways, because they're able to.
Right.
Okay? You know, if I was road commissioner, I want to spend $11,000 in culverts, I just buy 4,900 one week, 49 the other week, and 1,000 the next week, okay? Where he wants to get 12, $15,000 worth of work done, okay? And, he goes out and gets bids, they send them in. It doesn't,
And that's, I mean, it's-
doesn't work for everybody, because the policy is not fair to one person to the
well, and
other.
that's, I mean, the culvert is a perfect example because you just got a bill,
Just
did you
did the
not?
same thing, and
For
we
a
did
very,
not, and that got paid because they got delivered, and what do? So, the policy never worked. The department head gets, that's his money, that department's finances. We've always said that before you spend it to get our okay.
Right.
Okay, I can understand if it was a large, humongous, giant sum of money, but what you're doing is, he goes out, gets the bids from the people that, will give it to him,
And then we turn around and say, no, we can't do it because, well, it's too much money.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work. It's taken out of his hands. And honestly, to put that bid out, you'd have to have a formal thing written up. It would have to be sent out because, well, that company from Portland didn't get the same information the guy in Acton did.
Right.
So it did,
Yeah, request for
micromanaging the department.
I think there was a reason why it was put in place, though, isn't there?
Yeah,
I mean,
because they were all,
to try
because
to keep
everybody was all
track.
ticked off of the road commissions because they were doing their job. They were buying gravel, doing this and that.
No, I think,
That's how it
I think it was way before that.
Yeah, I
No,
thought it
that-
was
well,
for
you-
something,
When did you
yeah.
put
I
it in
don't
place? It was back when Scott and I were road commissioner. But the problem is you know, when we're buying materials, if somebody goes out and buys $6,000 worth of gravel for a road in a week, did that go out to bid? No.
So at another.
But the department's authorized to spend the money.
Well, let's get to this
Well,
particular thing
and
here.
I guess this is what I would, I mean, this is what I would recommend, is that, I mean, we just went through this with APAT, with the servers that he purchased, okay? That was well over the 5,000. It didn't go to sealed bid, we didn't advertise it, it didn't follow this. If you decide you want to address these bids tonight so that he can move forward, then we send out you know, you either, next week, at your next meeting, decide if you want to make any changes to this policy. If you don't, then you don't.
Yeah.
But a memo goes out to everybody reiterating and, you know, effective this date, I mean, we will not, you either have to have the policy and follow it or not.
Right.
Or make changes to it. But we have, David's right, in the last 3 months,
Yeah.
I can think of
Right.
several
Yep.
things that,
Like the APAT thing, you're probably not gonna find a computer company to send you a sealed bid.
right, but we still could have at least put it on the website, put
Right.
it on, you know what I mean?
What do we do about our tree cutting guys? You know, they come in, they charge us $1,500 a day. It's over the
Yeah.
$1,000 limit.
Right,
We're
Yeah.
supposed to put that out to bid?
Yeah.
according to policy.
No, there is,
Doesn't-
yeah.
You're
You're
there is-
supposed to get an
there is
estimate,
some
right? 3
problems.
estimates, right?
Okay.
Not sealed.
So we've got 2 different things. I will email you or print off before you leave
you.
tonight, the purchasing policy, so you can take it home and redline it and figure out what you want to do, and we'll
Sounds
address
good.
that at a public meeting the next couple of weeks. What do you want to do with this? Do you want to,
Let's honor it, let's
I mean, you
let's
can
do
either
it.
deal with it the way it is, or advertise it for a
I
week?
think we deal with it the way it is.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so the first bid is from Patrick Stevens, listing everything out there. Total estimated cost is $11,000. The second one is from, once again, Farm David Langley. The total is $16,770.40.
What was that number?
$16,770.40.
What was Pat Stevens?
11.
11,000.
Even?
Yep.
Now, keeping in mind, both bids state that the, you know, drain and tank is to be determined on site. Bob will get back to you with that, but there is,
I did talk to Bob today about that.
13 or 14, how much did they budget for that?
He said there was plenty of money in his compactor.
Yeah, I
account,
feel like it was 13 or 15.
Because there was no way of really telling what the cost would be
Right.
after they open it up, and it would be circumstantial, so. Okay, do I hear a motion?
I'm going to abstain from this vote. Okay?
Okay. I'll make a motion that we award the bid to Pat Stevens for 11,000.
And I'll second that motion. Any discussion? All in favor? So we have
Yeah,
2
I'll
and
vote.
1
Abstaining.
abstaining.
Can you just have them initial that, please?
Sure.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. Okay, I guess we'll move on to road committee.
So speaking of Pat Stevens, he did come in for something else, and I tried to swear him in for the road committee. He was not at town meeting, and he has respectfully declined that position. He just doesn't have the time to do it, so.
So we have to put out there that we're
Let
looking
me
for
just
a road
advertise the
committee member.
position.
How many members are there? Is it like a 5 or 7?
What's that?
How many members are on that, do you remember?
Well, there's a road committee ordinance, so, before I say what we need to do, there is an ordinance, so we need to review that. Tonight's just an FYI that he's not interested.
Okay, so we're gonna need to.
Let me review
yep.
the ordinance, and I'll get back to you on that.
All right.
I don't believe there's anything in there. Some towns have, it would go to the next person down if if that was the case, you know, as far as an elected where he was never actually sworn in, but let me read your ordinance and get an opinion, just to make sure, so. Just letting you know, he declined it for tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Move down to C, social service payments.
So, an email from the treasurer, approximately 10 years ago, the town of Acton started paying social service appropriations in 2 installments, and we did that once in October, once in April, because at the time, we had a cash flow issue, and we didn't want to pay them out all at once. So obviously, she says we've rectified that concern over the years. The cash flow is quite healthy now. She's requesting the board to allow her to distribute all at once this year. It saves time, it saves money on checks, saves envelopes, postage and everything. So we're just looking to, it was approved, nothing can change that. Just pay it all out at once in October and,
I have no issue with that.
I'm fine with
That's
that.
fine.
If she's requesting it, she's got good reason.
yep. So
So in October,
motion to pay social services in one payment in October?
I'll make a motion, we pay social services payments, one payment this year in October.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, LRAP funds.
They're going,
This is all filled out from the treasurer. She's looking for signatures. Looks like just H Road is on the back, 48,000 and change. Look over that.
That's based on roads that we hot-topped? Is that-
It's the LRAP funds is the money that the state sends us.
Right.
We split it between the 2 road commissioners, and that money has to be put to a major road project only, meaning a major construction.
Oh, okay, not just a overlay?
No, well,
Okay.
we can use the overlay because it's supposed to last more than 10 years.
Okay.
It's a project that lasts to last more than 10 years.
So do we list on that everything that we do?
Well, you can list one project.
I see
you know,
one.
Okay.
If you have
so
anything
they did
that's.
the age.
I was just gonna say, because if we're listing the projects on there that were done, wasn't part of Hopper Road done last year?
That's on a different, that, he'll have to,
That would
there
be
should
the
be
year
2
before.
elements.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say. Yeah, go ahead and look at it.
There should be one for the south and the north side,
Oh, okay.
so it should be anyways.
I don't see,
No, there was only one listed.
If it
Got
covered
anything
it,
that-
yeah, it,
No
as long
payment
as
was
as
done.
long as it covers the 48,000, one project would be fine. Typically, we always did 2.
So I was gonna say, yeah, but, so it's because there was no paving, is that what Will's saying? There's no paving done on
Well,
the
it
other
doesn't have to be a
side?
pavement project, it has to be a road construction project that, you know, it will last more than 10 years. It doesn't have to be used as pavement, we use it as pavement because that's the easiest thing to figure out.
Sure.
Without itemizing.
Okay,
okay.
yeah, $48,388.
They'll split that between the 2.
Okay. Okay, I make a motion that we, I guess, sign the LRAP paperwork for the state.
I'll second that.
Any discussion, all in favor? There we go. Okay, I think we had enough discussion before it.
I just read somewhere that they're going up on the LRAP funds in the next 2 years, too.
It's going up, you said?
Yeah,
What they're
yeah.
gonna give us?
Yep,
Nice.
Good, because it's been going down for a while.
Exactly.
right, yep. They said in the next couple of years it will be going up.
Okay, we're down to E, appointments.
So regarding the zoning board of appeals, we have 4 regular members and we appointed 2 alternates. I appointed them alternates because I hadn't heard back from them and didn't want to take it upon myself to move them up. Now that we've had a meeting and we've spoken to both alternates, they both agreed that the one that had seniority, which is Brandy Cynical, will get moved up to a regular member. So this appointment is for that. So you will now have 1 opening for an alternate on the ZBA after this is signed.
Make a motion to, read this here. Certificate of Appointment, Title 30A MRSA 2602, Selectmen's Office, Municipality of Acton, Maine. This goes to Brandy Senecal, the Selectman of the Municipality of Acton, do in accordance with the provisions of the laws of the state of Maine, hereby appoint you as a zoning boards of appeals member within and for the Municipality of Acton until 6/30/2022, given under our hand the 14th day of July 2021.
Second it.
All in favor? Okay.
While you're signing that one, last week, last Thursday, you We signed an appointment for Thomas McGurty for Capital Improvement Committee. Miss Cheryl, in her diligence in doing minutes today, informed me, and we watched and reviewed. There was actually no motion made for Thomas. We talked about him, and we talked about the fact that the more the merrier in capital improvement, but there was no actual motion. So we did redo it to attach with an actual motion, just so that nobody can question it.
All right, so are these both for the same?
Well, I'm just attaching the
Oh,
old
okay, I
one,
see.
because you had already signed one.
All right, so we'll make a motion to appoint Thomas McGurty to the Capital Improvement Committee, given under our hand the 14th day of July 2021. And it is good until June 30th, 2022.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Okay.
That's just
It's
the
just
old
the
one.
one from
Yeah.
before.
Okay, I'll keep it with it. Okay. Okay, so,
You want to do?
I'd like to move G up above executive session.
Yep.
So, I guess we'll go Article 43 request.
Okay. So we got a request in from the Wilkins Road Association, being Jim Farmer as being the contact. He's got some areas, a couple of areas that he's looking for work to be done on for material trucking, tractor and labor, some road gravel, and some miscellaneous filling of potholes. He's got everything laid out, and he didn't realize that he had to, even though it was something they reapplied for, we do ask them to send a complete packet again, so we're gonna pull some stuff for the other folder for him this time. So we'll send this off to you and the road committee electronically and ask them to take a look at it. They actually have a meeting coming up on the 19th, I'm pretty sure.
Monday? I think so.
Okay,
Oh, it's right in front of me. Look at that, they have a meeting on the 19th.
there you go.
Yeah, you guys want to do public comment first?
Yep, and
Sure.
I got a quick thing before we get to that. Yesterday, I filled in for Kim with an interview for one of our firefighters. And I just wanted to say that on Facebook, if anybody sees it, it appears as though the person was hired. The person has not been hired yet. There was no offers given, no process. It strictly was an interview, and it was put on by nobody to do with this town or this fire department or this board, so we're still going through the process. The individual still has not even had an offer of employment yet. So it was inadvertently put on Facebook that the person was hired. They have not been hired yet. I just wanted to clarify that. So, yeah, let's do public comment before we do
Let's do that,
executive session.
Any public comment?
I'm getting too old for this. Raw Waterhouse. Would that be the post that showed a young lady sitting in the front of a
Yes.
fire truck?
Yep,
New full-time firefighter?
yep.
So she has not yet been hired?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Good explanation. Thank you very much. Second point. If you're not going to follow your purchasing policy, then I strongly urge that you rewrite it. Because if you don't, if you just say, we're not going to bother with it, then the next time the fire department wants to buy a fire truck, they don't have to get 3 bids. They don't have to do jack squat,
Or any department.
or any department for that matter.
Something we.
There's a lot of work that is being
Yep.
financed for the town hall itself. There's some recommendations that are going to be put forward to the selectmen by the Capital Improvement Committee regarding some of that. But if you're not going to follow your personnel policy, no, excuse me, not personnel policy, purchasing policy, then you need to throw it out or rewrite it, one of the two, because you can't have it both ways. You can't say, I'm going to take these 2 bids this time, and you're going to have to get 3 bids. No, that don't work.
Yep.
And as you so enlightenedly said, it's not fair.
Right.
And you're right, and I think there's a big difference too, is like you're saying, a purchasing policy. We're hiring out work to be done. Purchasing, I think there's a way that
You
we
could
can.
change the
yeah.
services, because it says in there, services rendered, so you could
Right.
change that services rendered to a purchase.
Well,
I
there's,
mean, we're talking a large purchase like
Yeah.
the fire truck, that's something there that,
Yeah, you
obviously.
definitely want.
well, it's a two-part, there's two particular paragraphs in that policy.
Right.
One deals with $1,000, you are required to get, a department that's supposed to get 3 estimates. Doesn't say bids, just says 3 estimates. Anything in excess of 5,000 is supposed to go out to bid.
Right.
And supposed to be sealed bids. Now, if you're not going to follow the policy, change it, because it's not right,
You're right.
okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else? I don't see anybody else. Do I hear a motion to go?
I'll make a motion, we go to executive session 405.6.A.1 personnel
A second?
Kim?
at 6:45.
I'll second that. I'm out of here.
All in favor? Okay. Wow, that was a long way. Okay, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion, we come out of executive session at 7:23 PM.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Okay. So we go to public comment. No, we already did public comments. We'll go to announcements. July 15th, planning board meeting at 6. And also July 15th, Mary Grant Committee, Preserve, 6:30 PM. July 19th, Recreational Committee, 5:30. July 19th, Road Committee meeting, 7 PM. July 22nd, Planning Board, public hearing, map 251, lot 008, sub 001, that'll be at 6 PM. July 28th, Select Board meeting, 6 PM.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Good night, everybody.